What? Yeah, that's right. Spit or Swallow beer review, drinking and the thinking. I'm Jammer.
And I'm Jammer Shagdog.
You're Jammer fan too, huh?
And I'm Shagdog.
Fan Jammer.
We're just drinking and thinking on this video, guys.
I'm drinking America's #1 beer.
Summer of Brain Implosion.
Yeah, brain implosions. It's
drinking,
an imploding summer. That's what it is.
Know, is this the beer of hookers? I don't know. What's Natural Ice?
Natural Ice is a beach beer. Modelo is, I guess, now the #1 beer, and I got Morning Wood.
Have you guys ever seen Fletch with Chevy Chase?
Yeah.
The very first one, don't see it. It's just like Smoking the Bandit. Don't watch Fletch 2. It's going to suck. But the original Fletch is a beach bum. You guys remember he's trying to – I think Fletch probably drank Natural Ice. It was around during his time.
Hey, if you think about it, Fletch, there's a new one came out with
John Hamm or something, right?
Yeah.
But he's not.
And it was actually
like, oh, look, I'm holding my dick.
It actually wasn't too bad. I mean, it wasn't the greatest. It wasn't no Chevy Chase or anything, but it wasn't bad. It wasn't as funny as Chevy.
Yeah, what's Chevy Chase is Chevy Chase.
Chevy Chase. You got a taste in your mouth.
Chevy Chase tastes like. What's his best movies ever? You think?
Chevy Chase?
Yeah.
Christmas Vacation has got to be like one of them, and then Vacation.
And
then what is the other? He did Fletch, and what was the one that he did as a writer? And he was
the Funny Farm or whatever.
Funny Farm, that was pretty good.
Yeah.
Caddyshack, of course, will go down in history. I don't particularly find it as the best piece of work, but
So for me, I watch Christmas Vacation probably 4 times a year, every week in December. I've told Shagdog that I've even was at a party where we projected Christmas Vacation. So we had a digital projector. It was back. Do you guys remember before digital TVs got huge? People had digital projectors and you could HDMI or at least hook up to it.
Yeah,
we beamed the movie down on all the party goers. We had a party where we knew we could get on top of the thing. So while everybody was at this Christmas party, Christmas Vacation was playing on them like a screen. That's meta, right? At least I get some kind of like liberal art awards for participation.
No, I like the fact that everybody's surrounding around.
And you could look down on yourself and see the movie. But aside from that weird art exhibit, it's like an art exhibit here. We're just rotating.
Yeah, I don't know why he's doing that.
It's like
but
whatever.
It's automatic now.
Going crazy. At least I can see James Cameron's face.
He's trying to get back to reminiscent when Google had their Facebook type thing going on.
Yeah. But what was bad about that is if it glitched, you didn't know about it. It would switch automatically when you talk. But when we did the recording, sometimes it wouldn't switch on the recording end of it. So one time we had Jammer on the whole recording.
Naturally so.
But I love Christmas so much, and I don't know. I always like that you guys do your Christmas extravaganza folly or whatever it is. I don't know. I can't keep up.
Extravaganza of beers.
Yeah, it's always just. I like that you guys like holidays. So let me ask you this: why do you guys? I know why I like holidays so much, but you guys like holidays and like themed. I like seasonal themed shit. I need it for my life. I need Why do you guys like that? I know why I like it. I want to know what you guys like.
Shagdog, do you want to take this one?
Halloween, our Oktoberfest. I mean, I got raped during Halloween.
So it's a bittersweet moment.
Yeah. Now, I've had some good Halloween moments. I've talked about a couple of them where I slapped a lady in her ass. She gave us apples, and then she dropped one. She turned around to pick it up, and I slapped her on the ass. I was probably about 9 years old, 8 or 9. A couple other good Halloween memories. But I love holidays.
Basically, eggnog over people.
Yeah, your childhood memories or teenage memories is what brings the holidays out. You're hoping for
what I like about as a kid, Christmas time, it would seem so far away. And when you got to Thanksgiving, you knew it was getting closer. So it was exciting. And at that time, you got to remember when me and Shagdog growing up, we had maybe at the best 4 channels, 5 channels.
And you had to get up and flip it.
And one of the things they always would do is they would play Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer, Frosty the Snowman. At that time of the year, it was a big event. Just like they used to be Wizard of Oz. One time a year, they would play it, and it would be a big event. Everybody would get to see Wizard of Oz.
Yeah.
Of course, in the early 80s, videotape was taken on and all that stuff, so people were able to buy it or rent it. And but the holidays themselves, I can just remember, always enjoying the holiday, and especially as a kid. And now, not so much as an adult, I don't enjoy them as much as I would like to.
So that hit me hard, Jammer. So I used to love holidays so much, and now it does, a lot of times it does feel
empty. And he locked up on us.
Yes,
for like in college, I smoked cigarettes for like 2 weeks and I hated it. But that 2 weeks, I got that. It's almost like the passing of the seasons, especially like in Florida, right? If you're somewhere that doesn't have a lot of weather changes, it almost is kind of like, even if you're sort of celebrating it for no reason, like like we said, like our I think it's because when you're older, you're more cynical. The magic of the holidays fades. But the one thing that we can still channel is the nostalgia, right?
Yes, exactly.
And that may only be 10 or 20% of the holiday power that it used to be. That 10 or 20% is what gets you to the fucking week, so that you can like go on to the next day,
Because the nostalgia for me, what I consider Christmas and what I consider Christmas music and everything, is the classics coming from the original artist, like Frank Sinatra, the original Rudolph the Red-Nosed by Gene Autry, Rocking Around, Christmas Tree, all those different things. The Frosty, the animation, that kind of stuff, that to me reminds me of Christmas. Then the movies, I love a lot. When Christmas time comes around, Thanksgiving comes along, I got to play Planes, Trains, and Automobiles.
Yep.
It sets the holiday season off. All right, Planes, Trains, and Automobiles. It's Thanksgiving weekend.
It should be on TV on Thanksgiving Day. I don't know why.
Yeah. And then once that happens, then I'm watching Christmas movies, all the old movies, Miracle on 34th Street, Christmas in Connecticut. What's some of the other ones? Wonderful Life, of course. Yeah. Scrooge, incorporating more modern stuff. As I age, Scrooge, Christmas Vacation. I got to watch those. It means more to me, and I progressed into even watching the Cranks. You remember Tim, what's his name, Tim Allen, and it wasn't Sigourney, it was Jamie Curtis, right? Jamie Lee Curtis.
I think so.
As the Cranks.
I don't think I've seen that one.
Y'all haven't seen that one?
No, I've heard of it. I might have watched it once, maybe.
And the Arnold Schwarzenegger one, where he's trying to get that, the little doll, the action figure for his son and all that stuff, and has what's his name?
Sinbad.
Sinbad, yeah.
Yeah.
But when I think of the songs and stuff, I don't think of a lot about a lot of the. Now I'll put in Mariah Carey's song, but that's a remake too.
Yeah, but she did a good version, and that was
she did a good version.
90s. She came out with that 92. I can't remember what year.
But I like Dean Martin and Frank Sinatra, hearing those and all that stuff. And
then Christmas songs that was made after probably 94 sucks balls, Santa's balls.
Pretty much. But the holidays themselves, I can remember. That was a time where. And I was very fortunate, and I admit, very blessed. I had my parents and my sister. We were all together at Christmas. My mom and dad usually had that day off, that weekend off, and stuff like that. These are things that we've lost as Americans because we have to drive for this greediness of 24/7. And I think that we've lost a lot. When you look at other cultures in Europe and South America and so forth, they take the time out to enjoy life and enjoy it with family and friends. We've lost that. And there was a study done, and I've probably repeated it several times on these videos and everything, but it says that Americans work longer, harder, more often for the least amount in comparison to the rest of the world.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I truly believe that is a real figure, because when you look at Europe, they shut down
They
a
should.
whole
Yeah.
country pretty much. South America was shut down for a whole country for a carnival, all these different things.
So
we
can
don't
shut
do that
down
kind
for
of stuff.
2 days, right? Like Christmas Eve, Christmas Day, you shut down. What pisses me off when you look back to Charles Dickens' work in the original work of Scrooge, Ebenezer Scrooge reluctantly has to give Cratchit the day off and pay him.
Yeah.
Like even Scrooge is paying his employee. So if you're worse than Scrooge, man, you're effing up. Like you're not doing it.
And here's the thing, like my company that I work for currently, it pays people way too much money that's in management.
Of course, yeah.
They have opportunities to make 50 to 75% bonus of their 75% of their salary in a bonus.
Okay.
Meaning, if you're making 250 grand, 75% of that you can earn in a bonus. And the bonus is not reflective to how honestly the company is going, how well the plant or is running.
Margins,
it's
right?
just meeting benchmarks. Oh, these KPIs need to be here. Well, I got the KPIs here, even though production's down here.
Okay, KPIs.
Yeah. For those who might not be in the know, right?
I know what you mean, though. Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's another metric because I know that Jammer, not to reveal any data, but I know you're one of the upper managers that's in charge of those metrics, right? So those guys.
No, not really.
Well, but aren't they still? You're still a cog in that. You're an upper cog in that wheel of making sure those metrics are met, though. So you're pressured in some way to meet those yourself too, right? To get the guys at the top money.
He's the wheel that keeps the wagon rolling.
I recently watched. Sorry. Have you guys seen Wagons East with John
Candy?
I had never seen it, and I finally saw it. It's got Richard Lewis, a bunch of other people in it. And I don't know. I guess I'm not really. Do you guys like old Western stuff? I never really liked old Western stuff that much.
I don't mind old Westerns.
Yeah, it depends.
Spaghetti Westerns and the old Westerns of the 50s and stuff. I don't mind that.
Clint Eastwood ones.
Once? Unforgettable.
Good, the bad, the ugly. Outlaw Josie Wales.
Yeah, Outlaw Josie Wales.
Is that you, Pa?
For a few dollars more. All the spaghetti westerns and everything like that. But John Candy, you're touching on John Candy. John Candy is one of my favorite guys as far as comedians and actors.
You were talking about planes, trains, and automobiles in the because that is that's the ultimate. I think you said this. Sorry, I don't want to repeat you, but the ultimate Thanksgiving movie.
Yeah,
right? Yeah.
That one right there is
71 right now.
Huh?
He would be 71 years old right now if he was still alive.
He'd be 71? Wow.
Yeah. And he died at 46 or somewhere around there, 46, 48. 46.
He did Only the Lonely, Armed and Dangerous. What is that other one? Uncle Buck.
Uncle Buck.
Another good movie by him.
Crumb, like Who's Harry Crumb?
Yeah, Who's Harry Crumb?
I think they should have made a movie out of his character from the National Lampoon's Vacation. That would have been a good movie.
That would have been good.
Did you guys mention Brewster's Millions?
Oh, yeah. Brewster's Millions. Yeah, he's in that too.
What else is he in? Even serious parts. JFK played actually, he plays the Southern, hey, Daddy. Like the cool daddy, Southerners.
And he was from what I read and have seen in other videos and of people being interviewed, they say that he was very uh, humble and very down to earth. He was very nice, friendly, polite, and very thoughtful to everybody he worked with and everything. So, yeah, the people like that I clue in on. You treat people around you good. You treat people under you
That
good.
too. He's a saint. Yeah.
Yeah.
So one of the reasons I brought him up, and I don't think sorry, I cut out for a minute earlier, but this is Summer Fiasco of Beard. Remember that John Candy did Summer Rental and The Great Outdoors. So he did two.
Yes, The Great Outdoors is the other one that I wrote, and the Summer Rental one is really good too.
Summer movies. Yeah.
And Summer Rental was that one scene where he's on the beach and the cooler's leaking and he's walking all over the place. Oh, yes.
Yeah.
It's crazy, but it's funny.
And in The Great Outdoors, he does the steak challenge.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And then he also sees the bald bear and has to shoot. He does something, has to shoot it, get away or whatever, you know.
Roland, you bastard!
Yeah.
What's he saying? What's he saying? He says, "Go faster, go faster."
Yeah.
My favorite part of Uncle Buck too is when the neighbor came over and he's dancing with her and he like hits her legs, and you're like, oh yeah, it gets a little rough with her. I mean, it's actually pretty funny.
What I like about that is a perfect scene where him and Charisse are talking about, I want to hear the pitter patter of little feet. What if I get you a piece of tin foil or tin, and then some rats or something?
Yeah.
Yeah, but taken too soon, he would have done.
I'm Molly Wart's uncle. I mean,
Go get a cat and gnaw that thing off, or whatever the hell. Get a cat and gnaw that thing off here, or whatever the fuck it was.
So this is like Muhammad Ali versus like a Ivy League guy, but Chris Farley versus John Candy. We know who's better, but put those away, Shagdog. No, sorry. Go ahead.
No, I was just so what?
No, I'm just curious. Like, so obviously, I think John Candy's probably better than Chris Farley, but maybe other viewers at home would think that.
Well,
think about, because they're very comparable.
When John Candy died, they looked to Chris Farley to fill his shoes.
Yeah.
And given time, maybe Chris Farley could have arose to that level.
Yeah. Right.
But he didn't get the exposure to projects, and it was not that long, was it? And then he died.
He died in like 36 or something, right? Shagdog, look it up. So Candy was 46. I'm going for 36. What are you going for, Jammer? What do you think? 38?
I say you're probably pretty close to that. Yeah.
Chris Farley died.
All right, Jammer and I are both going for 36.
Farley died on December 18th, 1997.
33 years old.
Oh,
we overbid it.
Worse, man.
John Candy died.
John Candy died on March 4th.
43. John Candy. Actually.
Oh,
what years though?
10.
1994. John Candy died. Chris Farley died 1997. 3 years later.
See, he didn't have enough time to be able to even get close to.
And he did have a couple movies, but he had a couple shitty ones too. Because Tommy Boy was good. Black Sheep was okay. Beverly Hills Ninja.
John Candy had the ability. Well, don't get me wrong. John Candy had the ability, but John Hughes wrote those roles.
Yeah, that's true too.
Man, John Candy had that ability to. You see that big guy, and he's heartbroken in Planes, Trains, and Automobiles, where he's sitting at the subway station or the tram station, whatever you want to call it. And he goes, "Why are you still here, Del?" Steve Martin coming in there, and he realizes, she's dead, right? His wife is dead, has been dead. When he's saying that, and he's bringing up he's like getting choked up, like I'm doing right now, purposely, so you can.
It's brilliant.
He hits it. Chris Farley did that a couple times. I think in Tommy Boy he did it. There was a scene where he came pretty close to something like that.
Yeah, he wasn't quite there, but he had even 10 years less even than John Candy, which is crazy. 33?
Yeah.
Oh, shit. I do know how he died. It was just stress from he was doing a speedball, which is basically cocaine and something else. I think it's cocaine and narcotics mixed together. I think it's cocaine and so I don't know. It's something bad. You don't want to do it.
Yeah. Alexa, what is a speedball?
That's cocaine and heroin, isn't it?
Or over and under is a street name used to describe the polydrug mixture of a stimulant with a depressant.
A stimulant with a depressant.
Yeah, I think it's cocaine and heroin, or some shit.
But yeah, I mean, when you think of John Candy and you hear that the Alexa, stop! I didn't ask for a book of drugs. But when John Candy is doing that, Only the Lonely is another example, where he shows that acting ability. Yeah. Chris Farley may have had it, and probably could have grown more into it. But John Candy was a lovable guy. You knew he could handle his own. He wasn't.
Chris Farley was more a hyper version of John. If John Candy was like, that was Chris Farley, because like when he played the bus driver on Adam Sandler's Billy Madison, for the love of God, that kind of shit.
John Candy, you figure you knew he could hold his own shit against somebody. He was like a gentle giant type character.
Yeah, like he would kick your ass if you. Maybe not if you messed with him, he'd let it go. But if he saw you picking on a woman or beating up on a kid or something,
like Chris Farley, you couldn't tell.
Yeah, you couldn't tell if Chris.
And John Candy, you could tell he had a human heart. He is very human, most human. Kind of like Kirk talking to Mr. Spock. But Chris Farley probably had a heart too. But John Candy, you could tell he had a heart.
Yeah, and the thing about that is that was his true nature, and it shined through his acting.
Yes. I mean, even when he chased that dude down that was doing his niece and Uncle Buck, what was his nickname? Beetle or some shit?
It was Bug.
Bug, yeah.
Bug, yeah.
He wanted to kill Bug.
Shit.
Yeah. Turned around and just to let him go, basically, and hitting him with the golf.
Bug with another girl, wasn't his niece. He went in there. He was going to kill that motherfucker. Flung him off the girl, and it was a different girl. Not his niece. Yeah. Should have still killed him. But the movies on John Hughes was a good writer director.
Oh yeah, he was great, man. I was going to say that like John Candy could only go so far without John Hughes, right?
Mm-hmm.
He needed something to reach for in the scene, like a goal, like an emotional key.
John Candy. Well, did John Hughes do the Home Alone movies too?
Yeah. He wrote it.
John Candy had the small part in that.
Christopher Columbus directed Home Alone. John Candy in that movie was the guy that was part of the they were what are those accordion band? They were the Wisconsin or something, and they had the and that was so John. Here's a fun.
And you know what's crazy about that? It's believable.
Yeah. It is. And guess what?
Polka band, woo, polka. And he's naming off all of his hits too.
Yeah. Guess what? That was all
polka. You haven't heard that? Okay, well, how about?
That's a comparable thing with Chris Farley, though. He did those small parts in certain movies, like he did the bouncer. What the hell? Wayne's World. He was a bouncer at Alice Cooper's thing. Well, if you go this way, he did all those little small parts in a lot of movies too, which is comparable to John Candy. Certain movies he did where he did small parts, like security guard at Wally World and all that.
Yeah, Vacation. Yeah. But that whole thing with Home Alone, and then Netflix recently had Breakfast Club on there.
I've seen that on there. Yeah, it's another good John.
So I rewatched Breakfast Club after so many years of not watching it and everything, and I watched it again, and I'm like, yeah, John Hughes just hit it, man. He was just on,
Let me ask you this: people that watch it when they're older tend to side with the principal more the second time around. Did you find yourself siding with the principal, or were you still?
Nah, I guess I'm still young at heart because I still can see the kids' viewpoints and relate to it as well as the principal.
Because the principal's like a lonely alcoholic, and he's just like drinking and doesn't give a fuck. He's burnt out at his job.
I tell you what, kids should be in detention on a Saturday. I never heard of that shit. My school.
Yeah, that's bullshit.
Yeah, they had detention on a Saturday down here.
Not where I lived.
Yeah, but they usually had it during the week
too. I don't know.
Yeah, we had it after school or during lunch or some shit.
I think
But
the
the
Illinois
whole idea,
school-
though,
I think the Illinois Department of Education was letting that principal down. I don't think he was getting paid enough.
Yeah. Probably
But
that
I do
Beetlejuice
think that,
mayor was the principal.
and here's the thing about it. You mess with the bull, young man, you'll get the horns. Okay.
Yeah.
Shagdog, you're a neo maxi zoom dweeby.
What's that?
You're your parents' wet dream.
What are you talking about?
Yeah, just naming movie lines off of it. But you look at those characters. You looked at the crazy outsider. You look at the jock. You look at the prom queen. You look at the nerd. I hung out with every one of them.
Yeah, that's true.
I didn't fit in one category. I hung out with her. Hey, all right.
That's how I was.
And
I
the crazy
feel
part
like
about that is that I left high school, and years later, I was working in a grocery store, and I was working in other jobs, and people would come up to me and say, "Hey, James, how you doing?" Oh, no, no. And I'm like, "Oh, hey, yeah, you going? You doing all right?" Yeah. I wouldn't recognize them. I mean, Shagdog saw it a few times where people would walk up and say something to me, and I wouldn't
be at
recognize
bars and be, hey, yeah.
And the fact is that they knew me because I hung out with everybody, but I didn't know them because I wasn't interacting with them personally or whatever like that. They just realized, hey, that's James. I remember James, Jammer.
Yeah, I have similar thing, but I'm more the outcast of the
I'll be right back,
Jammer.
guys.
What you're saying, I hung out with different groups, the heads, the jocks. I played football. I hung out with the heavy metal, the heads, a couple preppies, whatever.
Yeah.
But I always felt, even to this day, that I don't belong to a certain group. I don't feel like I belong. It's like weird. Anyhow.
Well, I used to say I have a lot of acquaintances and acquaintances and I only had a few friends and a lot of acquaintances.
Yeah. I don't even have any acquaintances. Matter of fact, I see people that I went to school with, and so, oh yeah, this person here, there's a picture. They died. I'm like, I don't even fucking remember them.
Yeah,
but I am self-absorbed.
I'm an oblivious asshole.
Of course, a lot of them I haven't seen because that's where I lived in New York, and I left there when I was 15. So
hey, we have a lot of reports that you're self-absorbed and an oblivious asshole from many different people.
I only got one person that said that. Well, JammerFan.
Oh shit! I'm all by myself. All by myself. Don't wanna be all by myself.
I don't know where JammerFan went. I like his.
He said he'd be right back.
He's still there, but his camera turned off or something. Maybe he had to smoke something. He said
he'd be right back.
All right. I better hurt because I need another beer. Yeah, I always feel like I don't belong.
You can go get your beer because we're drinking and thinking.
Yeah, but how long is this going to take? Do I need another beer?
I need another beer.
I'll wait till you get back. Welcome to our friends from Facebook. I should share this to Facebook. Maybe I'll share the next one to Facebook. One is a lonely number. One is a lonely number.
Two is just as lonely as the number one. All right, let's do this.
All right, what do you got there? What's that kind of beer?
St. Archer.
Oh, okay. Oh, that's a cider, ain't it?
No, not a cider.
I thought that was a cider, St. Archer. You sure?
It says, for the journey, gold, ultimate light beer.
Really? I thought that was a damn cider, St. Archer. All right, I'll be back with a beer.
All right. Well, Shagdog will be right back with a beer, and I'm here with my beer. We were talking about John Candy and Chris Farley in comparison, and just in general about the holidays and what the holidays mean for each and one of us and everything like that. Christmas to me is a time for family and friends to get together and enjoy the whole attitude of Christmas and the holiday season and so forth. It's unfortunately that businesses in their ultimate quest for greed, it seems, have just basically ruined holidays, having 24-hour, opening up the retail stores the day after Thanksgiving and everything, or even the night of Thanksgiving, to tell you quite honestly. That just seems crazy to me. And then on top of that, Christmas time, opening it up and everything.
Exactly.
And that's not really a holiday season for those individuals working in retail and everything. And it's unfortunate that these companies are so greedy and everything. Back in the day, we used to train our customers. You get it before that holiday or you didn't get it at all.
Really? And
But
our
now,
younger days, there'd be hardly any place open on a Christmas day.
Yeah.
oh yeah.
Convenience store might be the only thing you found open on Christmas Day.
The only thing I ever remember finding open during the Christmas day was Walgreens because, hey, people needed their prescriptions and everything like that. And convenience stores. No other place would be open.
Right. A hospital, maybe, and the cops.
JammerFan is back. Shagdog is back. Welcome back. Everything all right there, JammerFan?
Yeah, I just was taking advantage of the fact that I'm so zoomed in on like 9x9 pixels at my beard, just like even looks huge. Look at that. It's just like natural ice. 5.9% AB. Yeah.
Well, I'm glad to see you're drinking natural instead of unnatural.
Yeah.
Unnatural bush.
Ice.
Yeah. So it's nice that you bring that up, Jammer, because I had a friend that used to drink a lot of Fireball, and I told him they have some kind of like antifreeze or something in
Formaldehyde.
Yeah, they put
antifreeze.
something in
Yeah, I
there.
think it's antifreeze.
And I'm like, with beer, at least usually, unless you get the new Juice Force from New Belgium or that punch one, that probably has tons of chemicals. But normally beers are just like, there might be some corn in there, but you don't have people putting industrial chemicals in there.
that we know of.
Okay.
I that's why I think that they should be forced to put at least the generic ingredients. If it's barley, just put barley. If it's hops, put hops. Don't have to have the particular hops or the barley. And I want to know if it's non-GMO because I'd rather have non-GMO compared to GMO.
And they say all the big beers use GMO, Bud, Miller, Coors.
Yeah, they do.
See, this is where I will go a little bit with the woke type attitude in the sense I don't want GMO shit.
But that's not woke. You don't want to get polluted, your body polluted. So I think that
I
what
don't
the
think
corporation seceded, Jammer, is to smear people that don't want pollutants in their body as woke because that's against regulations, right? Well, we just saw with the Titanic sub, usually the guy's like, he was using a video game controller. We'll just do whatever. And like the fucking thing.
I got some parts I bought at the RV store.
Yeah.
What's crazy about that is that the 50-year-old white guy that was in the military and worked in submarines and everything like that was saying, okay, get past that stereotype and let's just look at it.
Yeah.
One, I would question the game controller. I mean, it's fine. You want to use a game controller. That's fine. You can use it. But it's not a Bluetooth. It needs to be hardwired. Because the Bluetooth, one, is it going to hold charge? Is it going to lose connection?
They didn't even
have a backup.
Batteries. They didn't even, and they weren't even testing the batteries before they went down. It's just like, have you ever, this happened to me as a kid. I was playing on Nintendo 64 and the batteries went out and I was at the final level of Mario and I got clobbered by fucking Bowser. I couldn't do shit. I'm pushing this stuff. That sucks for a video game. But fuck you, man! You're doing this on a mission,
life and death situation. Yeah, I don't think that's really wise to be doing it for a life and death situation. Yeah.
Also, Jammer, get this, and I don't mean I'll relinquish the microphone in a minute, but they say that when you're in these deep environments and the oxygen in the sub is more, you don't want electronics that are cheap that can throw off sparks because you don't want to ignite the fucking oxygen in the sub.
Exactly.
So you have to have like the military has like standards for insulated wires and like controllers and like how you do all this stuff, you know.
Yeah, I mean, when you're venturing into a situation like that, you want to have safeties on everything.
Yeah.
You want to have backups for everything. You don't want to end up in a situation where you're, like the game controller. Well, we lost connection. Oh, the batteries are dead. Do we have batteries? All these different things. And you know how irritating it is when you lose the battery. Okay, so you replace the battery real quick. Is it going to connect as fast?
Yeah, and you're trying to drive it with this, and Shagdog's scrotum friend to his left or whatever. He recently, James Cameron came out and said, "Yeah, other way." Recently said, he was like, "I would never go down in what they had. It was totally inappropriate." He was like, "It's like he's like he's done dives to the Titanic.
Yeah,
he's like everything about this is wrong. Don't do it."
Yeah, I
guess right now he's having depression because he feels guilty for not pushing harder to not let these people. But how can you stop these people from thinking that they're in international waters? There's nobody to stop them.
It's partly his fault. He's the one that made that movie and the Jewel and I'm on top of the world and all. It's partly his fault. Anyhow, top 9 submarine shows. You ready? I probably won't remember.
UB40.
Well, here we go. Last Resort. ABC 2012 to 2013. Don't remember it. Okay. Next one. Vigil. It was on Vigil BBC One. 2021.
Red Hot for October.
That's a new one. Vigil BBC One. It's on 2021 to present. Check it out. Operation Black Tide. Amazon Prime. 2020.
Red October.
Yeah, well, hold on. We might get there, Jammer. These are shows, so I don't think they're movies.
Voyage
to the Bottom of the Sea, 1964 and 1968.
Hey, pretty good one.
Yes. Sequest DSV on NBC, 1993, 1996. For a short-lived one, it was pretty good, especially with the guy from Jaws. He rocked.
Captain Nemo.
Yeah.
Movie again. I'm sorry.
The Deep on BBC One, 2010. Never heard of it.
This sounds like all good.
Oh, Das Boot.
Das Boot, yeah.
There was a movie, but there's a series.
Yeah, Das Boot. Yeah.
2018, German TV series. The Sinking of the Lasonia, 2011. Only lasted one season. BBC. Ghost Boat, one season, 2006.
Ghost Boat. Das Ghostenboten.
Yeah, SEAL Team on CBS. Season 2, episode 13. I think that's, I don't know what the fuck. NCIS, only one episode, had Sub Rosa. Okay, we don't want to hear about episodes. Another NCIS episode. Okay. JAG episode. All right, I thought they were TV shows.
JAG, NCIS.
That's it. The best had to be Sequest and probably Sequest and probably the old one there. What the hell was it called?
It's a real thing. It was Shaka PG.
Yeah, whatever it was called, you know.
JAG, NCIS, Law and Order.
Top submarine movies.
Law and Order Special Shagdog Unit. He's like, we found a lot of jizz in here. We're going to need to bring an iced tea to mop this up. He's like, what's up, bitches?
Okay, I got a trivia question for you for a submarine.
I ain't mopping shit up. No, there's some shit over there. So
Lieutenant Shagdog cleaning up this motherfucking cum. And then cut the Shagdog, he's mopping up all the cum.
What 80s rock star co-starred in a submarine movie in the early 90s, mid-90s?
Crimson Tide, Denzel Washington?
No, rock star. What rock star?
Sting.
Oh.
No.
Mick Jagger. He was always in those movies in the 80s.
No, it was what's his name? Bon Jovi. U571.
U571.
Slipped in there.
Yeah,
well, I can tell you right now, UB40 was over there.
Hey, UB40, red wine.
Yeah. Fucking
Neil Diamond wasn't far away.
Bon Jovi doesn't count. He's a pussy.
He was a what? Oh,
Bon Jovi's a fucking pussy. Sorry, I've always thought that. I look at Bon Jovi.
Bon Jovi really. I mean, they were rocking in the '80s, but as they got on, I mean, I like still the 90. What was it? 92. What was that album called? Not New Jersey.
Nobody knows either.
Oh, Keep the Faith. Not too bad of an album, but after that, really downhill. It was like more pop.
But I mean, if Bon Jovi had to like save somebody from like a building that got bombed out by a terrorist, or he could run away screaming like a girl, he would run away.
He wasn't.
I mean, it was a stretch to believe Bruce Willis would, and I believe more of Bruce Willis than I do Bon Jovi.
Oh, Bon Jovi, he wouldn't run for nothing. I bet you even a girl showed tits at a concert, he'd probably run away.
Like, and all of a sudden she blew up and she's like, "Help me, Bon Jovi! Half of my face is missing." And he's
all he ever did was
not that. He's like,
smile. That's it. You never like see him filling up some tits or something in a video. He would just like.
As she's dying, she's like, "I curse you, Bon Jovi.
Love is a social disease." Yeah.
Dead
You're
alive.
Bad name.
Shut up.
You know, a song Jammer on me singing karaoke all the time was Bad Medicine. I'll do Bad Medicine.
I wanted to do Bad Medicine. I wanted to do it.
Everybody wants to do Bad Medicine, man. You can rock to that song, right? So a good karaoke
that's about that one, and Love is a Social Disease is about.
Yeah.
I personally, Shot Through the Heart. That's a good one.
I'm taking notes from you, Jammer, because I've heard you're legendary at fucking karaoke. Like you can work a crowd. Like
I'm an international karaoke star, man.
Yeah, and he's also a
Star is Born.
A broad range of music. Like he'll do country, 70s rock, 70s pop, 80s rock, 80s pop, country all through the years. Broad range of music from Jammer, actually. I mean, I'll do a broader range, probably thanks to Jammer. I mean, I was just singing Poison, Bon Jovi, a couple of shit like that when I first started. I had like a 5-song repertoire when I first started doing karaoke. And because of Jammer, he's like, hey, try this song. Hey, do this.
You know, the one song that we always would get Shagdog to do, and it's amazing. I don't know why we like it so much. Everybody that heard Shagdog sing it would say, hey, Shagdog, sing this. And that is the one, She's Like the Wind.
She's Like the Wind, yeah.
Patrick
He also
Swayze.
got me to do For Your Eyes Only one time, too.
Yeah.
So guys,
Your eyes only.
I'm a committer of the holy Catholic sin of singing Don't Stop Believing by Journey every time I do karaoke. I'm that fucking guy.
What's a hard song to sing, actually?
That is a very hard song to sing.
I've actually gotten like, just to slow down.
You got to keep your own voice. You can't really try to hit Steve Perry.
Just
Yeah.
a midnight train, fuck you, Shagdog. Yeah.
I wouldn't try to sing like, because that's how I would sound if I tried to sing like.
I can hit it. Jammer and I can hit those notes that the Shagdog can't. That's why I'm like, you want to know why I'm Jammer fan? Because Jammer and I, we hard and we fucking play hard.
To try.
Yeah.
I always told Shagdog he has to own it. Own it, Shagdog. Own it.
I'll be up there singing like, own it.
Jammer and I drink the totes, as in like 32-ounce things of beer, and we sing the notes. We drink the totes, we sing the notes. Jammer and I bring it home.
Yeah, I'm a karaoke legend.
Which is why
I did
so there's this
karaoke
movie, Twins with Arnold Schwarzenegger and Danny DeVito. Obviously, another great 80s
I went
movie.
karaoke in 2 states.
And I've always thought that you and Shagdog were like twins. Like, it's like you're not paternal. It's not, you're paternal, not
like I'm
identical.
Arnold Schwarzenegger and he's Dan DeVito.
I think he got everything. And like, as the movie says, you're the garbage that was left over. I'm just kidding.
So I'm Danny DeVito.
No, he's both. And you're like the genetic anomaly.
Let me tell you, I just recently watched that movie again too, because the Arnold Schwarzenegger Fubar was on, and then there's a Schwarzenegger thing on
It's only
Netflix.
available through June. That's why I brought
Yeah.
it up. There's only
And I watched it because it was only available
you
through that
watched
time.
Twins? You did? You watched
They're
it?
supposed to come out with a new one called Triplets, and it's going to be Danny DeVito, Arnold Schwarzenegger, and Eddie Murphy is going to be their lost triplet.
Holy shit, Shagdog. I never thought that you would actually get to my level of movie trivia, but that's actually a hard nugget of information that I want to point at him. Shagdog, actually, look at his, hold on, look at his little bean brain. He's got something in there. Look at you, big brain on Shagdog.
That's actually a good combination of why
it is
craziness.
Yeah, it'd be like, oh, now we're adding,
Actually, that would have played very well in the 80s.
But now it's been an active project for 20 years. I don't think Eddie Murphy's ever actually going to do it.
It would have been better
if Eddie Murphy would have agreed to it back in the 80s, early 90s. It would have been a hit.
Even late 90s.
But now Danny DeVito, Arnold Schwarzenegger at the ages they are, and Eddie at the age he is.
Have you guys heard about that Arnold documentary on Netflix?
Yeah, I've watched it.
It's really good. I like it. He's just like smoking a cigar. He's like, yeah.
It's good. It lets me.
The 90s were
crazy. Alone. He's alone.
Yeah.
And there's some parts where I was like, wow, he's very out there, chauvinistic type.
Yeah.
But yet he's alone too. He's a very alone person.
My key with him is this: like most people who have been benefited and having the opportunities, he worked hard. There's no doubt that he worked hard, and he used steroids and all that stuff. There's no doubt there. He admits to it. But what gets me is that if it wasn't for Weeder and all these other people who supported him through those years, he would have never been able to do the things he was able to do.
Of course, his body helped too. But
no, I don't discount that. That's what I'm saying. He worked hard. Don't get me wrong. He worked hard. But the fact is that if he didn't have the backing of Weeder and the other people that he knew,
the dominoes all fell into place as he went along. It's just like it's like it's destiny almost.
So I think that like that's so I don't believe in magic or like space. Like, I'm going to worship space creatures and they're going to help me get a job.
Yeah.
But
they're in the Arctic anyway.
Yeah.
You don't have to believe in them, but they believe in you.
Well, I do think that
they believe in you, JammerFan.
There's a falling of the dominoes, but I guess you could say that in like 2011, so believe it or not, like I've almost been a fan as long as you guys have been churning out fucking videos, man. And it's weird. It shouldn't happen. Like anybody that would follow you this long should have been an axe murderer by now. I should have been on like death row. I should be on like my 7th.
Well, I wouldn't want you to follow if we were going to produce axe murderers. I mean, come on.
I'm just kidding. I'm just joking. Like I was just saying, somebody subjected to you guys for so long, right? 11 years, a deep space experiment. What if you launched somebody in a capsule and all they had for 11 years was spit or swallow beer review? Like that may be detrimental to their health. We don't know.
It was 9 inches long and makes girls want to have sex with me.
Oh God.
My knife.
JammerFan.
Oh, God. Well, yeah, I didn't want to paint and I look like I'm like in like a 80s video. I'm like, hi, I'm JammerFan, and this is my confession video. I killed the Kentucky 3. Or something, like I'm like,
the thing about it is, I'm going to tell you quite honestly, what's amazing is that without this medium that we have, we would have never connected with you or some of the other people that we know. I mean, look at what's his name that we went and visited.
Ontario.
Yeah. See how I conveniently forgot his name?
Well, they call Ronald the Riot, but I think Rontario is more of like the Tawa of the
or Jay.
No, what's funny about that is that we used to call him Ronald the Riot.
Because that's how it's spelled out. It's all together.
Yeah, but that's the way his name is spelled.
It's all together, yeah.
And when he talked to us and everything, it's Terrio, and but you'll always be the Riot to us, man.
Yeah. And Ronald the Riot's a better brand name anyway, man.
That's what I thought. I mean, what the hell,
He's a
the
Riot.
funny part about it is that he actually, I think the reason he liked us so much is because we did say the Riot.
Yeah.
And we always promoted him as well as a lot of other beer people.
He's one of the first beer reviewers we watched. Like he's probably like the second or third beer reviewer that I found. This is before we started doing beer reviews. I found the one guy. I deleted him I finally unsubscribed to the one guy.
A lot of big beer corporations reached out to him. Like honestly, over there.
Hey, we had one.
I mean, big, but. And the thing about Ronald is that he's a very informative, but he comes off being very dry and stiff.
Yeah.
But that's the way he is. That's just him. And that's what you see is him. I mean,
what you see is what you get.
You guys are better than 90% of the beer casters out there. I just had to say this. And the guys making all this money putting out this shit, I'm like, why aren't you guys doing it? And I think it's because you angered like Juana, the Hawaiian beer god or something. I think Shagdog fucked up and cursed you guys because you guys should be making millions right now.
Or I would have thought that we would have at least been making.
I think you guys would be happy with like $400 a month or something like that.
Yeah, we would have been happy with. Well, the thing about it is we were getting to the point where we were actually making $130 there for a while.
Yeah, but once he got hit with those 3 things for copyright, songs or something playing in the background or some shit. Yeah. I don't know what it was, but we weren't doing it. I don't know what the process is of fighting that or whatever, but I didn't even know. I'm like, all of a sudden, about months later, I'm like, hey, how come I don't see commercials on our videos anymore?
Yeah.
Like, we lost it because we did copyright violation or whatever.
I mean, don't get me wrong. I understand where some of them were coming from, but in the background when it was barely even heard. I mean,
yeah. Well, shit. One time I was at the old house my parents had in the dining room. They were playing Games of Thrones. It wasn't even the Game of Thrones theme song. It was like a little medium song in the middle of the damn show.
Yeah.
The shit picked it up and said Game of Thrones, whatever song, written by whoever. I was like, they picked that shit. You could barely hear it. I was like, what the hell?
That's the problem with robots and AI, right?
Robots. Yeah. I think kill all robots.
Or what if you take all these robots and you program them on woke mode and just tell them to go after anything? Like that's the bad thing about once AI can do its own thing, whatever. And I'm independent. I always give Republicans shit. So a lot of Republicans are all about deregulation, and some of my Republican friends, I've been sending them all this fucking Titanic sub shit. And I'm like, how's your deregulation now, dick cheese? So I
but that was an international water. That'd be my Republican answer.
All right, you got me laughing there.
Did you hear what he said?
Yeah.
I'm going to tell you right now, life and death, I like the regulations.
I like a little bit more freedom to businesses. I like trickle-down effect. I love Ronald Reagan. I think it worked. And I'm poor. I've been poor my whole life. I've never been rich. But I think trickle-down. I've been getting more trickle-down when Reagan was in office, a little bit when Bush was in office, Junior Bush. And pretty good with Trump, too. I mean, 401k-wise with Trump.
Look, when I was when Trump was in office, my 401k with the company I worked with went up over $30,000. As soon as Biden took office, it dropped 35. It's just now gone up 10 grand.
Yeah, I've been losing money since I've been working where I'm at now with the 401k, and I even got diversified. But everything's only gaining like 2% or losing 2 to 10%. Nothing's gaining what they used to gain. It's like maybe 2%. But now that my company's finally, after 1 year of working, they match you after 1 year of working. I'm finally getting a little bit because of that, what they're matching me at. I'm getting a little bit more.
And the joke about all that is the fact that the 401ks have changed over the years, where they used to be 100% match, percent. So if you were donating 5%, 6%, or whatever it was, the company would match it 100%. But now we'll match the first 2%, and then after that it's 75%, and then after that it's 50%.
Oh, my company does the actual full 6%. They match. They only match up to 6% though. So If I
So I backed off on my 401k donation. I turned around and started putting it in a Roth IRA because I'm like, fuck that shit. Taxes are going to go up by the time I retire, and the Roth IRA I can withdraw from it tax free.
Dude, in this market, I'm putting zero in and instead investing money in the house, redoing the floors, redoing stuff. Because honestly, real estate it scales with the recession. But look, I will say this: I like to try to be fair to like our liberal members as well, and say that, dude, Trump is off the rails right now, bro. Like he's off the rails, dog. He's off the rails.
Same thing with DeSantis. DeSantis, he was all right, and then all of a sudden he turned around and said, "Hey, come to Florida." That pissed me off.
So the Disney thing, DeSantis should not have tangled with Disney. That was a huge mistake. And I know Disney's been doing some woke, stupid shit. And when I saw that, like, dude, every single thing, we have Disney Plus, Julia and I, we already paid for a year. We just have it. And it's like, I'll be honest with you. Every show is a checklist. Do we have trans people? Do we have Muslims? Do we have Asian people? Do we have whatever? And it's like shoving it in my face. And I'm like, I'm down to watch a superhero show, whatever. And I don't care if it's like a Muslim girl. But
if it supports the story, I don't have a problem with it.
Yes.
But if they're forcing it.
But if she's a trans Muslim girl for no reason other than clicking off, because they're like, we can market to this, we can sell videos to this demographic, and we can sell videos.
But here's the thing about that whole Disney thing that you're talking about. That whole Disney thing you're talking about.
Yeah.
Yes, the woke part came into there, but Disney, when he first bought that land over there, he came in and he basically told all these people, he hired all these companies, real estate agents or whatever, to buy up land, for him undercover so that nobody would know about it and charge more money. That's one. So that right there, he's going around buying up all this land. And so instead of people saying, well, if you're buying the land, I'll sell it to you for 20 grand. All right, it's 20 grand. If they had known it was Walt Disney, it might have been 30 grand. It might have been 50 grand. Who knows? But he bought it on the sly. Okay, so that was the first thing. Second thing is he turned around and convinced the state, because of tourism being the number one thing, hey, I'm going to bring in so many jobs and visitors and everything like that. So I'm going to bring so much in that you're going to benefit. So that was okay. Well, all right, we'll give you those tax breaks. We'll allow you that. Oh, and by the way, I want to be able to have my own autonomy and basically be able to run the area like my own city and my own state, my own country. All right, we'll give it to you, being that you're bringing in so much. Yeah. Well, when they stopped bringing in so much, they got more woke for some reason. I don't know. Yeah. It's like everybody didn't care about. They knew about the lesbian and gay and transgender day that they always, the week or whatever they had over at Disney, and they didn't give a shit about it.
There's something that triggered them to do it.
Yeah, they didn't give a crap about that because, hey, that's transgender day. The transgender way. All right, so Walt Disney's having it. Yeah, there was a little bit of the outliers saying, oh, they shouldn't do that, but most people didn't care. It's only when they started going full woke and trying to push agendas and all that stuff, and they were getting tax-free and they got outspoken, that DeSantis, and granted, this may have been the tipping point where he just decided, hey, this will get me some press and I may look good and I'm tough and everything. But he turned around and went after him because, hey, you're not bringing in as many people that you used to.
Like you said, yeah.
And so what happens is from that point, hey, you're not bringing in those tax revenue that you said, and you're not supporting as many jobs and everything that you said. And guess what? I don't need to listen to you anymore. I'm going to force you to pay the taxes that you should have been paying all along.
They should be
paying property taxes. But hey, I don't care.
If Florida citizens' property taxes going up every year, Disney should be paying property taxes.
Yeah.
Fuck that.
Yeah.
So we didn't care about that. We didn't care about any of that as citizens of Florida and all that stuff.
Yeah.
And we were like, yeah, okay, go ahead, go for it. Get that tax money so we don't have to pay it, Now, the second thing that Ron DeSantis did that pissed me off is that he went ahead and turned around and said, okay, you can reuse that radioactive material in building the roads.
The roads, yeah, to build. Yeah.
What the fuck are you thinking? Bad enough I'm getting carbon dioxide and all this other stuff from the road, and now I'm going to be sitting in traffic because you fucktards don't put the infrastructure in to be able to support the growth in order for me to be able to get to and fro wherever I need to go. And now you got us stuck in traffic, sitting on the concrete that's radioactive longer, being exposed to carbon dioxide.
Radioactive roads in Florida.
So I'm 100% what you're saying, Jammer. I'm also seeing Shagdog's thing empty. I still have half a beer left. I can refill my beer. Do we need to take a break and we're at an hour? Do we need to take a mini break? People can go to the bathroom and do whatever. Do we need to take a
Shagdog?
Should we
good.
make this into another video?
The video has been 1 hour.
We're at an hour. That's what I'm saying. It's a good, just for the algorithm, it's a good point to cut it off and we can start another one.
Yes, I love
do part 2.
I love long videos like I love Ron DeSantis's long cock.
Do part 2. Part 2.
Down for part 2. I'm just saying we should I have to go take a piss anyway, so
all right.
Yeah. I'll save my beer then.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
News of the summer fiasco, the summer
on full, so we'll just come right back to it. We'll double back around, Jammer. You can keep your beer.
We're supposed to be doing summer beers all day. What the hell?
Hey, Natural Ice is a summer beer. When else are you going to be getting college chicks pregnant? In the middle of winter?
I can just see the abortion levels going up right now.
As I talk, the abortion levels are going. Whoop, whoop, whoop.
All right,
let's do this thing.
All right.
So we're gonna do
on a roll.
Drinking and thinking then, huh?
Yeah, just a 5-minute break, fellas. I'm gonna go eat some sun chips and take a piss.
Spur Swallow Beer Review, Summer Implosion of Brainiac Beard. I don't know.
JammerFan.
Shagdog.
Wag the dog. Rag dog.
Don't piss him off.
Love you.
All right, bitches. We'll be back in a few seconds, I guess.